When Californians approved Proposition 1A back in 2008, they thought they were voting for a sleek, high-speed rail line that would rocket passengers from Los Angeles to San Francisco in under 3 hours. What they got instead is a multi-billion-dollar construction project in the middle of farmland, with no connection to either city and no high speed in sight. This raises a question so basic it ought to trouble anyone who still believes in representative government. How did a vote for one thing become authorization for something entirely different?
Proposition 1A
Wasn't ambiguous. It promised speeds over 200 miles per hour, strict travel times, no operating subsidies, and a route from Los Angeles to San Francisco. The state now openly admits it can't meet those standards. Yet the project marches on, flush with taxpayer dollars and political excuses. This is not reinterpretation. This is turning voter consent into a blank check. Politicians defend the shift with the rhetorical equivalent of duct tape. The project is still moving toward the original vision, they say. If moving toward the vision means spending billions on a train that begins somewhere north of Bakersfield and ends somewhere south of Merced, then the phrase has lost all meaning. Walking north is also moving toward Oregon. That doesn't make it a transportation plan. Meanwhile, the courts have politely stepped aside, refusing to enforce the conditions voters explicitly approved. The judiciary, we are told, shouldn't be micromanaging engineering decisions, but enforcing the terms of a ballot measure is not micromanagement. It is the bare minimum of democratic accountability. Without enforcement, the state's political class enjoys a peculiar privilege: the ability to campaign on one plan and build something else entirely, with voters left to foot the bill for both. The scale of the bait and switch is staggering. The original price tag, sold to the public at around $33 billion, has ballooned beyond $100 billion, and no one seriously believes it will stop there. Deadlines have dissolved. Deliverables have vanished. The only part of the project running ahead of schedule is the spending. The irony is that high-speed rail wasn't doomed by engineering challenges. It was doomed by politics. The original plan had too many requirements: speed, self-sufficiency, specific routes, and financial discipline. These constraints existed to protect the taxpayer. Therefore, they became the first casualties. What Proposition 1A proves is not simply that government projects go over budget. It proves something far more corrosive. Voter approval in California has no binding meaning. If the government can reinterpret the terms of a ballot measure whenever reality, or politics, gets inconvenient, then voting becomes a ritual, not a check on power, and that is a far bigger problem than one bad rail project. Californians didn't vote for a Central Valley shuttle. They didn't vote for endless construction. They didn't vote for a train that may never connect Los Angeles to San Francisco in their lifetime, or their children's. What they voted for was a promise. What they got was an abstraction. What the state delivered was a contradiction. If voters had been told in 2008, "We want $10 billion for a train that starts and ends in the middle of nowhere, won't meet our speed requirements, and may cost over $100 billion, the measure would have failed by a landslide. Instead, the state asked for a Ferrari and is now building a tricycle, with taxpayers financing the difference. In the end, the story of California's high-speed rail is not merely a tale of cost overruns or missed deadlines. It is a warning about the fragility of accountability. If government can transform voter approval into political carte blanche, then the ballot box becomes a suggestion box, and one that politicians feel free to ignore, and that may be the most cautionary tale of all.